That's my baby.
I'm dying.
That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
Left, feet left.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah. What the fuck are you talking about?
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome in, everybody. Fan Friday, only on A2D Radio. Every show we are brought to you by our doc, make him yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Tom Arnone, Ryan Brother, Frank Vespi, Jake Friel, Pete Young in the house. Everybody out there joining us. Welcome in, and we're going to do something we should have probably did a couple weeks ago, but we didn't do a show. We didn't do a Fan Friday. So it's going to be like little 2021 bold predictions, and we'll do some national bold predictions, Flyers, Phillies, Sixers, Eagles. So all that's on the table, and anything bold you got nationally, we're going to get into that as well, too, throughout the show. Our poll question, brought to you by allcampusoc.com. Use promo code, discount code, whatever you want to call it, A2D for 15% off all your team hats. So allcampusoc.com, discount code A2D, 15% off all your team hats. They don't have the hat in store for you or on the line. Hey, they don't got it online? Give John Coyle a call. He'll find you the hat. Done and done. Our poll question, the Sixers will be the most successful team in 2021. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Like, subscribe, follow, download. Join the conversation tonight. We'll read off everything. Usually we try to get the fans on tonight. Tonight won't be as long of a show as usual. So we might not be able to pull that one off for you guys tonight, but we're definitely going to talk about everything, and everything's on the table. Not only in our predictions and our bold predictions and for 2021, but just everything going on right now in the Sixers world and Eagles world. Flyers coming up, Phillies, who gives a shit, but they're around the block. So all that stuff is on the table. Anything you want to talk about, but let's project a little bit. All right, let's see and get bold. Get bold, because there's not a lot to be bold about, or at least be like stern on it. Like I really feel this way about this city. Like Sixers, Flyers, you can get a little boldish, right? But even them two teams, it's like, you don't believe in it that much, though. Like you want to believe both teams one team can cut the nets down and the other team can hoist Lord Stanley, right? You want to believe that can happen, but there's only one team that does it every year. So and we feel better about both of them organizations and teams. Or are they both there yet? I don't know. We're going to talk about it. So the Sixers will be the most successful Philly team in 2021. Do you agree or disagree? Well, I mean, before last night when, half our team's feels like it's getting shut down moving forward, and probably our toughest stretch of basketball coming up. I mean, it was kumbaya. I mean, they couldn't do anything wrong. It was, 7-1, best basketball team in the NBA through 8 games. Obviously, last night you have no Kyrie, no KD. So you go into that game and you're thinking, okay, it's a back-to-back, but we should be able to come out of here with a win. And the fact that, we didn't play well, we didn't come to play, and you can see some fatigue set in, but just not a good effort. And Doc talked about it, but that was the only blemish on their season so far. Overall, they've had a good start. I mean, I don't think anybody could have expected a better start being off to a 7-1 start, right? I mean, I don't think anybody was thinking that. You know what I mean? You're feeling good, but 7-1, that means feeling really good. So they've exceeded, I don't want to say expectations, but a little bit. The Flyers, they're young in spots. They got some vets. So, you don't know. I mean, you got a franchise goalie. They didn't score enough in the postseason last year to really be that excited over, right? So they got young talent coming up, and they're only going to get better. But them, I'm not 100% sold on to win the whole thing. Phillies, and Eagles next year. I mean, it's such doom and gloom right now. I mean, I can't have high expectations for them next year right this second. You know what I mean? That can come in the next couple months. But right now, it doesn't look good. And so out of all that, the only team that I'm really sold on outside of like COVID concerns, because I don't know who's going to play moving forward, and I think these guys will, as the season moves on, we'll get guys back, and it won't be a big deal. But the Sixers, I mean, I completely agree. I mean, they got to be the most successful team. They're a team that's built to win now, right? And what I mean by win now is get to a finals, right? I think they're built to do that. Are the Flyers? I don't know. I mean, I think they are, but are they there yet? And hockey's so weird sometimes too. But I mean, if you get a goalie stands on his head, they can be. They absolutely can be. But you got to score too. The Sixers, they're right there. They're right there. We thought they were there last year before everything collapsed. We thought they might have been there the year before. So I mean, for me, it's a no-brainer. Sixers. Phillies haven't done anything to get me excited about. And I said the Eagles, you just don't know enough yet. Even like put them in this conversation that they'll be the most successful Philly team in 2021. So I'll agree that it's the Sixers. They have stars. They have a possible MVP candidate up until last night when he didn't come to play. But they have that. They have a coach who's won before. They got veterans who've won before. And so I think that all matters, and that's why I'll stick with the Sixers on this, even though right now it's like, oh my God, I mean, these next 5 games, who are we going to have? It might just be man, and we're pulling up G League guys. So everybody out there, let us know. The Sixers will be the most successful Philly team in 2021. Do you agree or disagree? And you're not really standing out. You're not sitting. You can't really stand with your chest out with the Sixers either. You know what I mean? You can't be like, oh, well, it's the Sixers. The only reason I feel like I can put my chest out a little bit is because of the other teams, and really the 2 other teams. It's really Flyers, Sixers to me. If somebody wants to have high expectations for this baseball team, be my guest. If somebody wants to assume the Eagles and Carson Wentz and everything's going to be, they're going to be holding hands and roasting marshmallows next year, then go ahead and tell me that. But right now, it's the Sixers. It's close, and it's close to the Flyers, and that's it. Family out there, let us know. Rye, Frank, Jake, Pete, you guys tell me what you guys think.
Yeah, I'll go real quick. I completely agree to the poll. And again, it's not because I think the Sixers are bona fide world beaters. I mean, 7-2 start, even, with all the COVID issues going on right now and that disappointing loss last night. They're like we've talked about before, and I'm not even going to be somebody like, obviously the TNT crew last night were talking, they haven't played anybody. Well, we've been over that before. It's who you play on your schedule. You really can't control that, and if you want to go back a handful of years, we weren't even beating the bad teams. We would have gotten blown out by the Magic. We would have gotten blown out by the Hawks and the Wizards and teams like that. So I'm very confident in this basketball team. And like we've talked about before, we talked about on Wednesday, if there are big time issues, when we get a full roster back after, this mess for the next 5 or 6 games, if there's a big need on this basketball team, I trust in this organization and mainly this general manager to go out and get us those things that can, fix the necessary things to get us in the spot to not only contend for a championship, but to possibly appear in a finals this year. I'm not saying, they're a lock to get to the finals, but I'm confident in that just because we've seen and they clearly have the formula to go deep into the playoffs. Will they do that? Who knows? But we know that they have the talent and the structure and at least the coaching staff on paper that could get us to that point where, hey, we wouldn't be shocked if we see them go deeper into the playoffs, finally go to the Eastern Conference title, or even somehow get into the NBA Finals. The Flyers, I'm kind of the same thing with you, Tom, and I don't want to call last year fluky, but it's kind of like we keep talking about, with a lot of the other teams. I just need to see it again. The hockey guys were talking last night about their honest expectations, and I agreed with them. It was about just continuing on the path, going one step further. Well, that would be around, the conference, the Eastern Conference Finals for them as well, because they got eliminated in obviously a disappointing fashion in the second round this past year. But I want to see, obviously, with Lindblom coming back and Frost and Nolan Patrick and Konechny and Giroux, Voracek and obviously Hayes, and then you obviously look at the coach. I just need to see all of that again for a small sample size. If we go to the middle of the season and they're showing us exactly what they showed, at the end of their stretch last year before the season was kind of cut off, then I'm on the bandwagon again. And I'm not saying I'm on the bandwagon. I'm not on the bandwagon right now, but I just don't. Like I was joking with them last night. I just don't want to get heartbroken again by another team. You know what I'm saying? I just need to see it one more time for an early period of time, at least in their season, for me to say, hey, they're not only going to be in a really good spot, but I'm going to put them ahead of the Sixers. Eagles and Phillies, they're like the epitome of dysfunction, to where I don't even feel like they should be mentioned in this argument, because there really is no argument unless someone at home, and we would love to hear it, if someone has a 5-tiered plan on how you can clear cap space or whatever the hell the Phillies are doing, because it's not even about cap space. It's about an owner actually going out and making smart and legitimate moves. But to me, I think it starts and ends with our hockey team and basketball team. And I just keep going back to the same thing. We have the formula on this basketball team. And if somehow we don't, we have the GM to go out and get us that formula. So I agree to the poll.
Yeah, Frank?
I actually agree with the poll as well. I think the Sixers are in very good position to make the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, I've said this a couple times over the past several weeks that, yeah, this team is poised to make a very deep run in the NBA playoffs, and more specifically the NBA Finals, or excuse me, the Eastern Conference Finals. They do have a chance to make the NBA Finals, but I think they're close, but not NBA Finals ready. I still have them falling to the Heat and the ECF, but we got the coach, we got the shooting. We're in a good spot. Now, when it comes to the Flyers, I have them number 2 in pure confidence of where this team's going to go. And I caught bits and pieces of what the Hockey Happy Hour guys are saying as a potential Eastern Conference Finals team. We saw what they could do in the bubble. Now, can they get it all together in what could be a very tough Mass Mutual East division? Yes, they are going corporate with the division names. So I think the Flyers are getting there. Let's see how the young guys do. Is there a chance they make one more move, maybe for one Patrick Laine? We'll see what's going to happen during the season. But I'm very confident in the Sixers. I'm confident in the Flyers. Eagles and Phillies, yikes. Let's just hope things get settled and done correctly in their respective off-season before everything resumes. So I do agree with the poll.
Yeah, it could be a clean sweep tonight. Jake, what do you say?
Yeah, I'm going to agree as well. Obviously, you have the little COVID scare kind of holding things off a little bit. But again, you have the pieces right there. You have the GM in place. You have the coach. You have the players. And I think we're going to be built for success for a long time with this basketball team. And similar to what Frank and what you guys said, I have them going to the Eastern Conference Final. Now, again, can they go to the NBA Finals? Possibly. It's possible. But it's still early in the season. But I do have them making a deep playoff run, and they're perfectly built to do so for a while. And number 2, obviously, going along with what everyone else said, I have the Flyers. But my only concern, obviously, it's the new division. You have a couple young players coming in, Nolan Patrick. You have Oscar Lindblom coming back, and possibly you have Morgan Frost coming up, so that'll change the lineup a little bit. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm not saying that last year was a splash in a pan or anything like that, because they have the players. We have our goaltender now, finally, thank God. But I just need to see how they do with this new division. And if they do bring new guys up, it's going to take a little bit of time to build chemistry and stuff like that. But they're going to be number 2. And they similar to how the Sixers are built right now, minus the minus the farm system that the Flyers have. It's just incredible. They're my clear number 2, and obviously the the Phillies and the Eagles. That's just. I hope things can get better, maybe, Possibly, please. We'll have to wait and see on them. They're still to be determined.
Phillies can help themselves out, and
exactly.
the Eagles can't. That's the only problem. So I mean, the Phillies can just go spend, I don't know what they call that, stupid money. They can and get themselves in any position they really want to get into. The Eagles, because of the cap, obviously, it's hard to put them anywhere but 4 if you're really ranking out, success for each team in 2021. Until we figure out that whole situation. Right now, it looks like this roster is going to be extremely different. I guess. I don't know. I mean, we're going to find out how it shaped out. But right now, I mean, they can't be anywhere higher than 4 because there's too many unknowns. Too many unknowns.
Yep.
What do you say to the poll?
It's obviously the Sixers. Like, it's not even a question at this point. Like, after everything I've seen in the first 9 games, I like what I've seen. Like, obviously the COVID thing is scary, and we don't really know what's going to go forward with that. But, they put the right pieces on this team. They didn't just go out and trade guys to trade them. They didn't just go out and get Josh Richardson because they needed to get someone for Jimmy Butler. Like, they went out and they got guys who are good defensively and can shoot the 3. Steph Curry is a phenomenal addition, and every time he's on the court, he looks like JJ Redick on steroids. Danny Green is whatever you're going to get from him. He's good defensively. His 3-point percentage is going up, which is nice. He's on pace for what he was last year with the Lakers, and if you can get him anywhere above the 36% 3-point percentage, I'll be happy with Danny Green. I love what I'm seeing from the bench. Maxi's a stud. Ben is decent right now. Like, I want a little bit more from him offensively, but he's phenomenal defensively right now. And, he's shooting a little bit. Is the key word here. And I also don't think it helps that all the other teams give me hives. I feel more confident in my Cleveland Browns than I do my Eagles right now, which is fucking horrifying. Also, if you're expecting me to go into an offseason where I feel comfortable with a front office that combines Howie Roseman and John Dorsey, you're out of your goddamn mind. Also, I'm not the biggest Flyer guy. I'm just not as much into hockey as I used to be. But my thing with the Flyers is always the same thing. They're hyped. They're always hyped. The fans will always tell me how amazing they are. This is going to be the team. We just need a piece or two. And I'm always very hesitant to buy into the Flyers because they've been telling me the same thing since 1975. And the Phillies, I literally spent an entire offseason where I wrote 60-plus articles and watched every Phillies game multiple times. So I don't need to be any more depressed about Philadelphia baseball, okay? God forbid what we're going to get with them this year. But with the Sixers, I really like what I've seen. Daryl Morey has fixed this team in a way I didn't think we could be fixed in such a short period of time. I love what Doc Rivers is preaching. It's obviously the Sixers. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with them moving forward. I still need to see them gel a little bit more. I love what I'm seeing from Joel Embiid. He's playing like an MVP. He's playing like someone who's in shape. It's just going to be trying to find out what happens with this team when everyone comes back from COVID. But I agree with the poll. It's the Sixers 100%. They're my number 1 team, and Eagles are like my 88th team Philadelphia rankings.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles. Yeah, the Eagles aren't even. Eagles, you don't even rank anymore until we see stuff different. Phillies.
What's the soccer team's name?
Union.
Yeah, I have the Union ranked above them.
I think many Union fans would probably agree with that one. I think
Go Union.
Yeah, go Union. When it comes to the Sixers, Joel did look like an MVP up until last night.
Yeah.
Last night was just a bad, poor performance from him. Wasn't as engaged as he has been all year, but that's also part of the NBA. It's what you get night in, night out. You get this on back-to-back some nights, but I like that the accountability was held real quick in that locker room. There wasn't hesitation from Doc, and that's what we need. So, guys are going to go through lulls, right? And that's where great coaching comes in, or good coaching, right? And good veterans, etc. Now we'll see how this team is able to get through. Yeah, I mean, we'll find out probably more as the night goes on tonight and probably into tomorrow morning. And as tomorrow goes on, and we're going to find out, who is actually available to play, if anybody, and if they're going to be able to even put a basketball team out tomorrow night. I don't know how that's going to work for them. It's going to be very interesting. They're going to be up against it. I know the NBA, I had some confusion on NBA protocols now. I don't know how that works. I don't know why tests are coming back after games start. I thought that, you've had enough time to prepare for this, and it just seems like, these leagues around just seem to drop the ball. Like, how's he? I thought these guys were getting tested all the time. Like, if you want to keep it real, they should be tested in the morning as soon as they go to shoot around. I don't know why that test is going to take to come back until 8:00 that night. It shouldn't be a thing. It should be, you know what I mean? The NFL's got to go through all these strict things, and they haven't been perfect. The NBA needs to lock in. I'm not trying to miss any more basketball. You know what I mean? And finally, when we're off to a good start, and I'm counting last night, even though we stunk, a 7-2 start, we're off to a good start. And now, typical Philly, we're off to a good start. And hey, look what's on your shoulder, COVID. You know what I mean? It's like, what? What happened? Like, what happened? They're a whole team because of one fist pump? Like, one fist pump is last carry? And Joel Embiid, it's over. It's over.
Well, and you're right, Tom. You're right, because you would look at it, say, for example, and I'm not saying it was any better when, we saw what happened to the Phillies, after what, 10 days, 10 games or whatever, where they were on lockdown. But we didn't have championship or at least really high expectations for the Phillies. We're like, geez, here we go. Whatever. Like, we weren't numb to it because we wanted to see baseball, but the stakes weren't high with that. The stakes are high, especially with a 7-2 basketball team. You know what I'm saying? They weren't 1-7. And
our
then you
just getting to the playoffs for the Phillies. I mean,
yeah,
we thought with expanded playoffs, and we all just sat here and we're like, yeah, we'll be one of them teams for sure. If we're not, it's a disgrace. Well, hey, disgrace, how are you? So
nice now
we're in disgrace. Now we're in disgrace mode, and I don't. And like I said, they got the easiest chance out of everybody in the city to come out of disgrace mode. That's what makes them even more of a disgrace. Like you've been paid for 20 years in a deal already. Like you're cashing that check every year. Like the fact of the matter is, you're not tied up against salary caps. You're tied up against luxury tax. But luxury tax are relevant if you're trying to win championships. So they have the easiest way out, but they've made it the hardest on themselves because one, they tell Howie Roseman, hold my beer when it comes to player development. So. Yeah. They I don't know, they don't develop players anymore. They haven't in the last 8 years. It hasn't been good. And no, they have not. Because if they develop players in the last 8 years that were on this roster, and I don't want to hear the old regime, because this regime hasn't developed anybody. They haven't hit picks. Alec Baum might be the only pick they hit, and that's even a small sample size to crown him. Reese Hoskins is overrated. I don't give a shit. All right. Scott Kingery stinks. I don't care what anybody's got to say. I see enough of jetpacks and his launch angle. I like
Heasley's like the only other one.
I like Adam Heasley. I like Adam Heasley a lot more than most people.
Yeah, Heasley's I'm hot and cold on him, but not
Moniak like him towards the end of the season.
Moniak still looks like he's 14. So it's like it's like I like some of the stuff that they do have, but it's like a bunch of stuff again. It's like Reese Hoskins, it's like, okay, he walks a bunch. That's great, and that's great to have in your lineup, and it works when you have a deep lineup, but he's like, he wasn't the next coming of Babe Ruth, so it just listen, it's hard in baseball, but when you can spend money and you can put resources into your farm systems and etc., you can get out of stuff real quick, and this has been an 8-year or 10-year or whatever the fuck rebuild that has not been a rebuild, and they can't even spend money right. And when they do make trades and they get the best catcher in baseball, they fuck it up, right? And now we're in a position we're in now where it's like we can't even be excited. Like, it's one thing if you brought Didi back, NJT, and I'm like, okay, like, all right, I know I'm going to hit again, so can I get enough outs, right? Can I get enough outs? And I think I can be competitive, right? I can't even say I can hit. Like, I can't even tell you that I'm going to come in and rake. Like, some people think that you're trying to – this lineup isn't, like, loaded to the gills right now where it scares me. And that's my disgust. I love baseball. I know you guys do too.
It's just a question mark right now.
Yeah.
Well, the biggest frustration, and I was talking to Pope about it the other night because, obviously something great happened, whether it, materials and anything, we don't know because it's the Mets. But, I feel like for years, for the last 3-4 years, there's been one player that I've been begging for. It was not Trout. It wasn't Harper. It wasn't Machado. It was Francisco Lindor. Mm-hmm. And they let him go to the friggin' Mets. Like, we let him go to the friggin' Mets of all teams. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. I mean, it's just frustration after frustration. And like say that again?
100 times better.
They're better than us.
Oh, there's no question.
They were better than us. They were better than us before the Lindor.
You guys can say this is a hot take all you want. Francisco Lindor is better than Bryce Harper. I do not care what anybody has to say.
Yeah. I don't think that's a hot take at all.
I don't think that's a hot take either.
I like myself some Bryce, but like I would have taken Machado over Bryce. I would have taken Lindor over Bryce. I mean, there's a lot of guys around baseball that not a shot at Bryce Harper that I would take. But guess what? This team can be really good if now you got to like build around the guy that you gave a 20-year fucking deal to. I mean, that's where it's like, when are you going to decide to like put the pieces around him to be successful? I don't know. But before we get too far in the Phillies, let's circle back and let's give some. We'll get to them, but we're going to give some bold predictions. 2, 3. I mean, give a couple for each team, but we'll start with the Eagles and we'll circle it. My biggest Eagles bold prediction. Oh my goodness gracious! The easy one is they're a playoff team next year. Okay, that's the easy one. The NFL's funky as shit, right? I can just easily say like we're in the point now where like they're never going to come out of it, which is right. I mean, that's not wrong. I'm not telling anybody they're wrong. I just been around this game for a long time, and we do have some talent. A lot got. Big pieces got hurt last year that can't this year. But if guys like, and I hate to say it, if guys stay healthy, but if our big pieces stay healthy, I think this team can figure it out a little bit and win 10 games and get into the playoffs. So that would be my first bold prediction for the Eagles. And my second one would be, and this isn't bold saying he's staying here because I don't think he's getting traded in Carson Wentz, and I'll stand by that until it actually happens because I don't want the tattoo on my ass. That I bet on, but
I bet on. Wait, what?
Oh, you didn't hear this?
Wait, what? Seriously?
No. What did you do? Did you pull Chrome, Tom?
No, I just told Tori there's no shot he's getting dealt because there's too much money involved. It's not going to work. Nobody just writes checks. Nobody just writes you back $20 million. Like, oh, well, I'm guaranteed to get that money back somewhere else. No, you're fucking not. You're not guaranteed to get that money back. You write that check away, you might never get that money back again. So, but I said that there's no shot he's getting traded, and if he does, I'll get his little name tattooed somewhere. I didn't say my ass. He said my ass.
Dude, don't pull a Johnny Marks. Don't do that.
What? He's not getting dealt.
Don't get the ugly ass. Don't get the ugly ass tattoo on your back or whatever. Like he has.
Johnny Marks apparently got
that. Tattoo. You wouldn't even be able to see it. It'd be like a magnifying glass.
Oh, it'd be like it's like a butterfly. It'd be like a little butterfly.
Yeah, like little butterfly with some little things at the end. We'll say the words audience of one.
I could just go to AO1. You're right, Frank. And just really hide it and we'll be like,
just get a nice.
You're like, what is that? Is that my next one is that he has a bounce back year in not just a little way, but a big way. And I think this draft could dictate that. Listen, I just want to be hopeful, right, until the whole thing burns to the ground. Like right now, we got the fire trucks out there. We're trying to hose it down. It's not working, but we're trying to hose it down. And I'm just praying that the guys who put in all this time and all this hard work put the fires out, right? And that's what I'm hoping. And us as a fan base are making the number 6 pick of the draft this year, so I'm not worried about that because we're just going to press. We're press coverage. we're press coverage, but I think the Eagles make the playoffs next year, even though right now they stink. And Carson Wentz has a bounce back year in 2021 here.
I'll go real quick. I've got 3, but you're right, Tom. Before things get real bad in our reality, I'll be hopeful. So I'll start with a good one. I'll start with a positive one. And for the Eagles, my positive bold prediction is that we will finally hit on our first round pick in this year's draft. To where 12 months from now, we'll look back on it and we will be happy with the pick. Whether that's Surtain, Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase, whatever.
Yep.
12 months from now, what was that?
I said Mika or Micah, whatever the linebacker's name
Parsons?
is.
Micah Parsons?
I did. Whoever it is, at this point, my prediction is that 12 months from now, we will look back on the draft and say, okay, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not even bringing all the other picks into the equation. Like, I'm not saying second, third, fourth, fifth, but I'm just saying the first round pick that we have this year, it'll end up being a good pick for us. And I feel like I feel like that's bold when you look at the history of our draft picks.
And to follow this, I wasn't here on Wednesday, and I saw the clip of where you wanted 6. Now, for me, I think 6 is a very good spot, as you mentioned. Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase, Patrick Surtain, Micah Parsons. They're all going to be nice and comfortable in that 6th pick. So, let's say teams are off the board by the time we pick. Hey, at least I know who I'm going to go with, depending on whoever is best available. If Chase is off the board, hey, Devontae Smith. Smith's off the board, give me Jamar Chase. If Micah Parsons is off the board, all right, I'll go with somebody else on offense. So I'm very comfortable where we're at on 6. So, and as much as we like to rag on John Dorsey a lot for being associated with the Browns, he built this playoff team. So I do have some faith in Dorsey with hitting some of the picks. And of course, he also constructed the Kansas City Chiefs team. So there is some hope with Dorsey having a major say in some of these picks. Hopefully, let's hit all those picks.
I agree, Marquise. I could see that happening.
Devontae Smith, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I started positive. Now let's go back to the doldrums a little bit. All right. My second one is that Carson Wentz will lead his team to a division title next season in the AFC South.
I knew that's where you were going too.
Oh, you had me in the first half, not going to lie.
Yeah. He will be the 2021 Indianapolis Colts division winning quarterback. And my final one for the Eagles is that 12 months from now, Doug Peterson will no longer be the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Mine's the opposite.
I hope so, Tom.
It's like, why would he come back on a Doug deal? Like,
Right.
unless they're trying to win. The guy's got to think about that. There's no fucking way when he can get a job anywhere he wants right now. There's 10 teams that are looking for a coach, and at least 5 of them would back the brink up for him because he's a winner. He's won. You know what I mean? So teams like that are looking for that kind of coach. He would get a job in a heartbeat. But it's weird. Like, why would you? Not you guys. Like, why would you come back on a lame duck deal on a rebuild? So to me, I think the extension or whatever was talked about Tuesday, I think it's a done deal. Either they're trying to win, right, and figure that out somehow, which I don't know how, and that's what makes me think that Carson's definitely coming back. Because think about it, connect the dots. He's not going to come back and put himself on a lame duck deal with Jalen Hurts. No shot. I can promise everybody that. And he's sure as hell not going to come back to draft a quarterback 6. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's not enough of a reason to come back. And then you create another controversy. It's just that would be just the same thing over and over again, which is always possible. But to me, it's like that's my third is he's going to get an extension. And it might only be like a 2-year extension, 3-year extension, but I can guarantee you an extension's coming, right? Or it's coming at some point because I just can't see him taking a deal. I can't see him saying, you know what? Just fire me then. Because why do I want to come back on a 1-year deal where you're just going to fire me next year anyway when we win 4 or 5 games again?
So you're, and I could honestly, I think we talked about this on Monday. So you're saying it's either going to be he's fired in the next week or he's here for the next 2 years. Contractually, that is.
Yeah, maybe even
Okay.
3.
Okay.
I don't think Jeffrey's ready to move on from him yet. I don't think he's there yet. If he was, I think he would have been fired by week 12. Okay, like I honestly believe that. When Jeffrey Lurie stopped going to practices or whatever, or didn't go to a game, like, you know what I mean? That's like, okay, if guy's going to get fired, it's going to be soon. And he didn't. And then they had a meeting Tuesday, and nothing's came out since then, which tells me they're all on the same page, and it just would make sense. Like he's not going to be on the same page Tuesday. He's going to say get rid of him. Because I want to be here. Then if we're going through a rebuild, that's fine. If I'm Doug, I'm saying that's fine. But I want 3 years then, because you got to give me a chance to rebuild it again as a coach with new players, etc. So they're either in it to win it this year, whatever the fuck that means for them, okay, or he's already got like a verbal that if it's a rebuild, he's going to get a little extension. That's the only thing that makes sense. Like Carson's not getting traded. Like, is he really writing a check? Is his wife saying, "Yeah, you know what? Write a $20 million check, Carson. Write a $20 million check. We're cool." I don't think anybody's wife that's married, his wife's going to be like, "Yeah, just write that away. We're cool," because Indianapolis is a great place to live. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you go. Like, I can see if like, oh yeah, LA's available, right? Write the check, Carson. Write the check, right? Like Miami's available. Texas, I don't know, somewhere besides a shithole. Like, then I would say, okay, like, yeah, maybe he writes a check. I do not see any circumstance where teams taking a dead cap of $32 million for a pick or two back, which isn't even going to be worth its value. That all would dictate him writing a check for $25 million and to get out of it. Nope. I know how these businesses work. They hold the fucking cards. So
I hope so, Tom. I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, I'm just trying to talk others. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No. Listen. Everything you're saying makes total sense.
No, I agree with you.
That's why.
Sense doesn't mean shit here. We know that.
That's exactly it. That's why I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, well, what wouldn't make sense? Well, the one thing that would make sense is that Carson, kind of like the Aguilar hold my beer thing. It's like Carson Wentz goes to another team. He goes to his savior. And then he ends up being exactly what we've needed him to be, and it's not just because of Frank Reich, but it's because that organization actually has an offensive line, a defense, wide receivers, running back, etc. And then you look at it to where, well, of course it wouldn't make sense for them to keep Doug around, or it wouldn't make sense for Doug to really go out and coach in a lame duck year with Jalen Hurts with a rebuilding roster and a cap issue. That's why I'm like, well. If it doesn't make sense, then, well, nothing's made sense for the last 18 months in this city.
We see the first coach hold out.
The first coach?
The first coach hold out? Like, we've seen players hold out. Like, the first coach hold out. Like,
yeah, and Press Taylor's the interim head coach for the first 4 weeks. Yeah.
I seen that report today. I want everybody else to get
know.
But, like, put a bullet in my mouth if Press Taylor is our offense coordinator. Now, I did say throughout the year that I don't care who it is, just get somebody else calling plays. Somebody else. Don't care who it is. Then you said Press Taylor, and I heard that report. Then
I like the USC guy.
I now care who it is.
Yeah. We need somebody out of the building. Somebody outside of the building, please.
Mm-hmm. No one in that building has to be the EOC. Like,
no, these are Flyers issues.
Oh my God! Don't even get like
this is like not now Flyers, but 2 years ago.
No, but like they would hire guys for out of the organization or in the building for years and years and years. Like, the good old boys are back. The good old boys are back. Look at them. We don't suck anymore. No, you're still doing the same shit you've been doing the last 35 years.
Yep, and it's the same thing here. They just want to keep hiring within or all. Like, I like the Doug hire, but we can now go outside of our organization. Like, we don't have the smartest group in the room. Like, I think it's been proven. So I think we can go outside of it. Whoever wants to shoot next, give us 2, 3, whatever you got. Eagles predictions or bold.
Yeah, I'll go. My one bold prediction is, and obviously it's a long shot, but I think Howie has a good draft this year. I think having John Dorsey definitely helps a little bit. Having the history that John Dorsey has had with building the Browns and building the Chiefs, I think kind of just being the guiding hand to help Howie, I think that'll help a little bit. Obviously, he's not going to bat 1,000 on the draft, but I think he's going to hit a majority of his picks this year. And that's me being hopeful, but that's my one bold prediction. And 2,
what's a majority?
How many picks do we have?
I don't fucking know, but
that's my issue.
7?
Probably.
I'll say 5 out of 7.
We might have between 9 and 10 with draft
compensatory.
Or
5 out of 7. Like what, starters? Like future starters? You're saying?
Yeah, future starters, future contributors. Yeah.
I'm just saying picks.
Wow, I would sit on something and rotate for that. I mean,
I'll give Howie an extension. Christ.
Yeah, right.
Why we're giving him out?
Might
How
as
about more
well.
than one Pro Bowler.
Yeah, I mean, even though I don't think he's going to need an extension, because like we were talking about on Monday, I'm fairly confident that he has a hardball contract with Michigan to where it's like nobody knows what it is. It's like a lifetime.
It's just
Poor bastards.
Come out in the middle, like Jim Harbaugh extended for 3 years in Michigan. What?
Yep.
I'm like, is somebody punking me? Like,
Does he
I
have
feel
like
like
nude pictures of the dean or
I
something?
just had like the word. Guy can't get a quarterback. He's a quarterback.
He hasn't beaten freaking Michigan State in feels like 20 years, but you're giving him an extension? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, he's really great at yelling at people. Have you put that in consideration? He's really fantastic at screaming at people.
Sean knows.
I mean, you
Sean
get a
knows.
bunch of little kids out there, and he can yell at them. Oof.
Steelers fan, I'm not. First off, John Harbaugh. I mean, John Harbaugh's had a great GM in his stint in Baltimore. First off, and Ozzie Newsome. So can we grow up with the John Harbaugh? Okay, Sean Payton. Okay, I like Sean, but what's Sean really fucking won? He's won one. So it's not.
He has the same amount of Super Bowls as Doug.
Yeah, and he's win 13 games every fucking year.
And he's had a Hall of Famer, and he's had a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yup, Andy's my
And Andy literally needed like the greatest quarterback ever drafted to save his fucking legacy.
Don't you do that? Don't you do that, Pete? No, he did not. Don't you talk about my pops, Andy, like that. Andy's the GOAT. I love Andy. He had a lot to do with Patrick Mahomes' development. Don't you do?
Like 1-5 in the playoffs before Mahomes showed up?
Oh my God, grow up! What is he? What? He don't make quarterbacks better. He don't make quarterbacks better. You don't think he had a little help with Patrick? They both helped each other out. I'll tell you that much, though. But having a generational talent definitely helps you. Definitely helps you get over the hump. I'll tell you that.
Patrick Mahomes could close his eyes and the ball would end up in the end zone.
He does that sometimes.
Like,
Yeah,
that's how
does do that.
ridiculous this kid is.
He's been known to dabble. Pete Carroll. Okay, I like Pete.
He could throw a touchdown with his foot.
I like Pete, but Pete teams are always aggressive. They've had down years though through their runs. They've had to like retool it and restart it again. So I mean, you want to crown you. I mean, Mike Tomlin was my favorite coach in the NFL. So, Steelers fan, you don't got to sell me on Mike, but to say he's not at the level he's not at the level of Tomlin and Belichick, but is he at the level of Harbaugh, Peyton, Reed, and Carroll? Yeah, I mean, he got a Super Bowl quicker than Andy did. So, he's definitely on Andy's level. Now, is he as good of a play caller as Andy is? Absolutely not. Is he good of a play caller as Sean Payton is? Absolutely not. But is he good enough? Is he a good leader of men like them guys are? Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. And everybody needs an offensive coordinator. Breaking news to everybody. It's helpful to have one.
I'm shocked.
Helpful to have one. All right, so Jake, did you give yours, all yours?
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Frank, you gave one already, right?
Well, I did agree with Ryan and Jake in regards to Howie having a draft. I mean, especially with having John Dorsey around. I think Dorsey sliding in there, I think it's going to help a little bit in terms of the picks. In terms of where we're at so far in the draft, right now we have 7 of our own and 2 comps. So let's hope we can hit on most of those picks. Now for the next bold prediction, I think both Howie and Doug leave after next season.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just going by their contracts alone. Their contracts expire in 2022. It's usually when those firings happen, they usually have a year left on the contract. I mean, I'm going back to, when Jeff fired Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly had 1 year left on his contract, and Jeff pulled the trigger on that. Like during one game in November, he pulled the trigger and said, "All right, Chip, you're going to go. 1 year left. Adios."
Frank,
I almost want to wager you guys on this.
Frank, so you're saying that Roseman's contract is up at the end of next year?
Both Doug's and Howie's. They both expire in 2022.
So you're saying there's a chance that he might be gone?
Yeah, I mean, it could also be the same conversation of you better go and get it right this year if you want to be back. I don't know. I mean, it could be that conversation too.
Why is Sean Spellman yelling at us?
What else is new?
He's like
Burger King.
I don't buy into to John Dorsey being any parts of anything because he was here last year. But for some reason, they just wanted to announce it in fucking August or September. But then not even announce it then. Then they wanted to really announce it in fucking November. Listen, I don't believe nothing from this organization. He was obviously sitting with them last year. He probably had a partner, Jalen Hurts. I don't trust nobody that's been here. If you would have told me he just got here, I would then be like, okay. But then the reports come out that he was here last War Room. So what is it? This organization is trying to hide things and sweep things under the rug. So they're up against this year. Maybe that is the conversation Jeffrey had.
Could be.
Pete, what do you got? Bowl prediction wise, Eagles.
Let's see. It's tough because it's so much going on with that fucking team. Oof. I kind of like what you're saying. I really think Carson could have a bounce back year. Like, I'm not saying like Super Bowl or anything crazy like that. I don't think he's getting traded. Like, he's just not. Like, he's not going to. It's like you say, he's not going to his wife. It's like, honey, taking a $20 million pay cut, right? We're gonna go to Indianapolis. I hear the weather's really nice this time of year. No, it's not fucking happening. Like, it's just not. Like, the best chance you have is them having a solid draft, making some nice free agency acquisitions, getting rid of all the old fogies like Jason Peters and Alshon Jeffrey and guys like that. And, going out and getting a goddamn offensive coordinator, get Graham Harrell, get someone who doesn't suck, get someone with some creativity. Kudos to the Panthers last season for going out and getting Joe Brady, who was my number one choice for offensive coordinator. You know what I mean? Like, I think if you go out and you help Carson Wentz and you do the things that you need to do, he could have another successful season. And as of now, this season was the only one I can look at and be disgusted by his quarterback play. But once again, there's so much other shit that was going on, like that it's just not black and white. You know what I mean? Also, with John Dorsey, one thing that Philadelphia fans should be scared of, as someone who watched him in Cleveland for the last 2 years, he loves drafting players with bad background history, so have fun with that. He loves overspending. He loves, let me see, what else? He wants to be Jerry Jones. That's one thing he loves. He likes to be front and center, and he likes his face everywhere. So, and my favorite thing with Dorsey is that when it's at the front of the draft, home run type of picks, he's phenomenal at that. It's everywhere else where he's a little sketchy. So,
Jalen Reagor.
I wouldn't hang my hat on Dorsey just
like
yet.
Jalen Reagor and Jalen Hurts. Yeah, a little sketchy like that. Yep. Makes sense.
Yeah, yes.
Yep. I mean,
hit or miss, Tom. Hit or miss is what, like.
Well, you got a lot
of people on Twitter and everywhere else praising Dorsey. I don't do it just yet. Because remember, the Browns sent his ass packing, and the Chiefs sent his ass packing. So the Chiefs thing is even more blaring than the Browns is.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the hit and miss thing, but with our current GM, it's not even hit or miss. It's miss. You guys got Denzel Ward. You guys got Baker Mayfield. I mean, I understand John Dorsey is.
Those were all guys who were viewed to be possible, like, at that location, though. Like, let's say what you want about Jalen Reagor, he was at least in the ballpark. The way Dorsey might do is he might just grab someone and be like, who the fuck is that guy? Like a Marcus Smith type pick where you're scratching your head and your ass at the same time.
Reagor was in the ballpark of what? Of what? Of what?
No, I said Reagor was within the ballpark of that pick. Like I had seen multiple drafts where they put either Reagor or Justin Jefferson to us.
The nerds had him. The nerds had him. People who watch football didn't have him. And Dorsey, listen, I think Dorsey had a big part of last year's draft of some sort, but I still think Howie Roseman made all the final
words.
I think all the final decisions go through Howie Roseman. It's clear as day. He puts his stamp on everything, right? Mm-hmm. Until I hear otherwise. Until I hear it's not Howie Roseman, then I'm going to believe every pick goes through Howie Roseman. And he's got a lot of guys on this staff that jobs are on the line if they don't get it right this year, right? And I know teams miss in the draft. I get it. It's part of it. You don't hit everywhere. But if you don't hit in the first, you better start hitting in the second. If you don't hit, you know what I mean? Or you better hit in the third, fourth, and fifth. Like, so you can't have it both ways. If you're not getting studs and all pros, then you better be getting impactful guys that can contribute and start in the third, fourth, and fifth, or you get yourself in the situation you're in now. So listen, I mean, I don't trust whoever's making the pick, and I would sure be hard pressed to think that it's somebody but Howie right now, unless somebody in his organization comes out and tells you that.
Yeah, I mean, again, like it's not the crown John Dorsey party, but I mean, 2018 draft where John Dorsey had a big part of it. With his first 3 picks are Mayfield, Denzel Ward, Nick Chubb. I mean, God, you know what I'm saying? And that's one draft in 3 rounds. We would take that if it was 3 drafts spread around 3 years.
Yep.
And all of them were probably late rounders too.
Yeah, so let's go into. We all gave our Eagles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do our Sixers. Well, I mean, bold is they. I'm not even gonna say that one. Bold prediction. They go to the finals. I don't want to say winning because winning, it's I don't know. That's like too bold for me. but going, it's bold. Next bold one. Ben's going to attempt over 33s when this is all said and done.
Okay.
I'll take it.
It's a sexy bold take right there.
Huh? Ben will attempt 33s throughout the rest of this year. He will end with over 33s. Right now, I think he's got 2 or 3s attempted. He will finish with over 30. The fact that he shot one on a nationally televised game last night, I don't care if it hit fucking somebody's face in the front row. You know what I mean? I don't care. I don't care. But that just shows me that the things that we were looking for are starting to actually show their head a little bit, right?
I like that he shot that 3 last night. I don't care. I don't give a fuck that he airballed it.
No. Tom, you're spot on. Thank you for bringing that up because is anyone else? I mean, and I understand it's like a meme now, especially like people talk about it. But they obsess over Ben Simmons airball, and it wasn't even an airball. It hit the side of the rim and hit the backboard. Giannis airballs at least 2 threes a game, and no one talks about it. Like this guy who is everyone knows is a better player than Simmons. This guy literally doesn't touch anything but air twice a game, and he shoots too much. And they don't obsess over that. But when Simmons just misses one, they got to pull up a stat sheet. They got to look at different. Like, come on.
Yep.
They just want him to be Westbrook. That's all they want him to be, and it drives me fucking crazy.
And my third one, I'm gonna say all positives, because I think my third one's going to be a combo where Doc Rivers, Coach of the Year, and Joel Embiid MVP. It's gonna be a combo because they're gonna have so much. There's so much success. So there's like my 3 wrapped up for the
Sixers. Yeah, I'll actually just named both of mine, Tom. So I'll go right there with you. My 2 bold predictions: Doc Rivers wins Coach of the Year, and Joel Embiid will finish top 3 in MVP votes.
Yeah, I know. I went 3. We were like when we did sort of something similar to this a couple weeks back. I know. A lot of us had top 3. MVP voting, I figured, fuck it. Let's just say he's going to win, which is going to be hard for him because he had nights like he did last.
No, it's true.
Even on that night, you got to give me 20. You know what I mean? So, but it's a little harder for him being a big man too in that situation.
Jake?
Yeah, I think with me, I'm kind of going to go similar to where you guys went, except for one. Obviously, I'm going to go Joel Embiid wins MVP. But for my second bold prediction, I'm going to say Ben Simmons wins Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay.
That's going to be my other one.
Yeah, all these things come to fruition, right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Frank?
I'm going to go both Ben and Joel will make an All-NBA team. Ben Simmons will have a game with more than one three-pointer made. And give me Ben Simmons Defensive Player of the Year.
the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, good ones. Good ones. It's like, I was trying to think of like a negative bowl prediction, but I don't want to go down that route. Pete, give us some bowl predictions for the Sixers.
Well, I mean, I thought I was going to go with some negativity by saying, "Oh, the Sixers will trade for Zach LaVine," but then we all know where that's going to go.
Oh, Pete.
Where'd he go?
I'm not saying that we need him shooting a bunch, but he still got to attempt a couple. 33 fucking pointers by a point guard in the NBA is amateur hour. All right. It becomes amateur hour, Rome. Come on, babe. Amateur hour city. So, that's all you're looking for. Just to attempt them. Doesn't gotta be crazy. Sean says Sixers bowl prediction. They don't look tired off a back again. Sixers play dot ball. No one can match up with them on the defensive side. No, that's true.
Yep.
Up until last night, they were the best defensive team in the NBA.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have them nights. Like I said, what I liked early on the show is I like that Doc got up in it. Let him have it. Let him have it early, man. Give it to him right away. As soon as that game's over, unacceptable, etc. Let him know. It's okay. You come out and lose that game, fine. Listen, it's the NBA, right? It's the NBA, but you cannot almost get your doors blown off essentially that entire game and just look like you're not into it. That's where unacceptable happens.
Yep.
Okay, we can all deal with losing. We're all good with it. But like last night's the night where I put on Ben and Joe, man. And I don't give a shit what anybody's got to say. This isn't Defend City.
You needed more from them last night.
Even though these are my guys. Like, I will hammer them when needed. Last night, they deserve to be hammered. Unfucking acceptable. Ben, you can play 38 minutes every goddamn night because you just got them type of legs. All right? Joe, I expect a little bit rougher on a back-to-back. But for Ben, the last night's the night where you got to be uncle aggressive. And you got to attack. And he didn't. And Joe had a bad night, and this is why you get blown out. I mean, listen, this isn't last year's, this isn't the year before. I'm not going to keep giving them excuses on stuff that I need NBA vets to do, and it's take care of business. And that's a game in front of you last night that nothing's easy in this league, but that's a game you got to go get. All right, you got gift wrapped, no Kyrie and no KD. You got to go win that game. And if you win it by one on a last-second shot, who gives a shit? But you got to go win that game last night. And to get outplayed by freaking, LeVert and
Joe
Harris.
TLC.
Jared Allen. I mean, I was making fun of Jared Allen on Wednesday, and he
Jared Allen.
He ate Joel Embiid's lunch. I mean, that should never be happening.
He took it, ate it, and went back to his house and stole some more.
Yeah, I don't even put last night on like Tobias, really. Like I put I
was expecting a letdown game from him coming up soon, but
I didn't think he played overly bad last night. But
I got a good one. Brett Brown's still the coach. What does he say post game?
He says the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
Just trying to remember what it was.
I thought our spirit in the gym was good. I really felt the spirit in the room. It was really great. We'll learn from this. This was nice moral victory.
Joe did give us 20 last night, by the way. And I said I needed to give him his 20, and he did give us 20. Man, that's a quiet 20.
I don't know how the hell when the announcer said that he was like 20 and 11, I'm like, how in the F did he get to that? Because I felt like I saw him make one shot all night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because you know what? They did turn it on in the too late in the fourth. Mm-hmm. They started it was 3 minutes left, and they decided they wanted to make a little baby run again.
It was
Weren't
so frustrating.
Down by 9 or something at that point.
Yeah, it was really frustrating because towards the end, the final 7 minutes, I was saying I was looking at the freaking screen. I'm like, well, Jesus, if you're gonna lose this game, can you at least fall down by 20? Because I'll turn it off now. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't a fun game to watch. It was miserable to watch that game.
Yeah.
And they just kept hanging around 9 points, 8 points. I'm like, well, I don't want to be the idiot to turn this off. And then I see that they're up by 1 with 30 seconds left.
Yep.
They just kept hanging on.
4 for 13 from Ben last night's unacceptable. So
Yeah, he played atrocious.
I mean,
that was a bad game by him. I'll be the first to admit that.
and I don't rip them too often. All right, who didn't go with their bold predictions for Sixers? Everybody go?
I think so, yeah.
Tom, did I go with mine? I don't recall.
I don't know.
Oh, wait, no, I think I did. My bold prediction: Ben Simmons wins Defensive Player of the Year. Shake Milton wins Sixth Man of the Year. I think Daryl Morey is a Coach of the Year candidate. Doc Rivers is Doc Rivers a Coach of the Year. Might win Executive of the Year. I think second or third in the MVP race, and we lose in 7 games in the Eastern Conference Finals.
I mean, it's progress. It's progress. Something we can build off of. All right, let's go to what does Marky say? I need Ben to just impact the game more.
I don't think that's fair. Like I think at least with this season, minus that game, I think his impact on the game has been felt. He's not going to always put it in the stat sheet. You're not always going to see it. Be like, oh wait, he only had 12 points. He didn't really impact the game that much. But his defense as of late has been very impactful. Like it's just not always going to be. But that's just the thing with defensive players. It's not always going to be sexy. Like you're just not always going to see it jump out at you in the stat sheets. Like,
oh, listen, I'm the first one to defend him on the
he was shit last night, so I will say that. Like, I have no issue saying that.
Well, that's I think what Marky said. I need Ben to impact the game more with a go-to move in a mid-range elbow and finishing strong with a strong hand. I'm tired of seeing these soft layups, and I'm a Ben Simmons fan, and I think there's times you see the aggressiveness, and then there's times you don't, and you know that's been sort of the knock. That's been sort of the knock all year. So. You know, I mean, for years. So it's nothing new. And then, you know, he's not shooting well from the line yet this year, and that's something that he did better last year. And so until he's got to put it all together. Like it can't just be defined on the defensive side of basketball either. And as much as I love him as a defender, right? There's no reason he should leave a gym without 18. Okay? I don't give a fuck how you do it. I don't care if you drive to the lane fucking 40 times to get fouled. He should never leave a gym without 18. I'm not Mr. You got to score 30, that you need this whole offensive game. Ben Simmons should never leave a gym without 18. I don't care. There's no excuses for it. There's no, he plays great. I know he plays great defense. I crown him for his defense. I know he gets everybody else involved. There's zero times he should leave the gym without 18. It's just the way it should go. There's too much talent. He plays with a great big man. You know what I mean? He's got spacing around him. There's zero excuse for him not leaving the gym without 18. 17, you're the limit. Like never. He should never leave the gym without 18.
Tom, you're spot on. I'm sick of the excuses, and I'm not saying people are supplying excuses, but we get the defensive thing. We completely understand his defense. He's always been a good defender. That's great. That's fine. But he's a max player for a reason. He was number 1 pick for a reason. You look at all these trades and you say, oh, no, don't trade him for James Harden, et cetera, because of what he is capable of. If Ben Simmons wasn't capable of giving us at least 18, 19, 20 points a night, we're not even talking about three-point shooting. We're talking about being aggressive and being better at the foul line. If you do those two things, which are so in his own control, he's going to walk into 18. Walk into it. If he just plays aggressive for 3 quarters and improves a little bit at the foul line. We see it all the time. And that's why, again, I will put on more pressure on him, especially because there's no excuse on top of that this year. It's because you see how much more is available to him when the offense is being ran right. The whole thing of spacing, that excuse is gone. The whole thing of, he's not supplied with shooters, that's gone. He has a big-time big man that takes pressure off of Simmons. And when they take pressure off of each other, when Simmons is playing aggressive and Joel does his thing. So I understand, listen, great defender, one of the best defenders in the league. He'll always be in the discussion of defensive player of the year. And he's great with the passing, but he's 6'11" and fast as hell. There's no excuse for him to have 13, 11, 12 points, go 4 for 17 or whatever the hell that stupid stat line was last night. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And that's why I get frustrated with him. That's why I even entertain sometimes, like, oh, the Harden thing. I'm not there, but that's why I even entertain it. It's because I know for a fact Ben Simmons is capable of so much more. If he wasn't, you never hear us gripe about it.
No, my number's 18. Like, I don't need you to be. I don't need you to be Harden. I don't need you to be a guy who drops 30 a night. I don't need you to be that because you do impact the game on the defense side. But you can't be walking out of gyms with 11 fucking points. Okay, let's all get have a feel for life in 2021 NBA when you're 6'10". Okay, you should never leave gyms with 11 points. It's unacceptable. It was like Joe found his way to a weird 20 last night. That's how it should be for Ben. Like, you should, even on your worst night, you should be at worst leaving the gym with 15. And he just had a bad night. Like the 11, the 4 for 13, and not being fully aggressive, but he can have a bad game. And and I agree with you, but he hasn't been fully. Like, I watched him in the Washington game. You know, he get beat up on the block when you hold 6 inches on a guy. I mean, you know, that's the stuff that I need him just to continue to work on. And I'm far from a Ben hater. You know what I mean? So I just need more aggressiveness, and it's something that's been a knock from the beginning. I don't need you dropping 35, 40 a night. You know, because I love you. I love you on the defense side, and I like I love how you distribute too, and you want to get other guys involved first.
And saying it's not about him not being allowed to have a good game. It's about we've seen not just a small sample size. We've seen a sample size of a handful of years when your big man, like last night, is struggling. He looks exhausted. He looks like he's 90 out there. We need Ben Simmons to pick up the pieces. That's what two superstars who play together should do. That's the big thing.
Yeah, sorry, Ray. Just real quick, Shams just put out a tweet. The 76ers traveling party is leaving New York to return to Philadelphia after quarantining. That's it, but he doesn't say who, so I don't know if that means any of the guys that were quarantining are going to play, but something to keep your eye on.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if you have a situation where, I mean, there's like 6 guys there's only 6 guys that are 100% available for tomorrow. If there's somehow a game tomorrow, I think it's atrocious. And I'm not saying that because it's the Sixers. I'd be saying that if it was the friggin' Memphis Grizzlies.
Right.
You can't expect a team out there that was hit with this, not because of us. We were hit by it from the Wizards, who got it from Chicago. So it's not like we started this whole chain of events. Yeah. If they ask us to play a nationally televised game against the Denver Nuggets with 6 guys and only 1 starter, and that is Ben Simmons, and you have Isaiah Joe in the starting lineup, I mean, it's beyond embarrassing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they'll make you play with 6, but if you have 7, I think they're going to make you play. I don't know. I don't know what the NBA is going to do. I mean, the NBA, you know, is the NBA's 2 weeks in, and we're already here, and you know, I don't know how you avoid it. You know, the only way you avoid it is, okay, if one of your guys gets it, you know, you got it. You know, at least you know, for three months, you know, he won't be out. You know what I mean? But that's like the only advantage to it. But I don't know. I mean, these guys got to realize they're not in the bubble anymore either. I mean, they need to figure it out. I don't care who gave it to who or whatever, but no, it should definitely not make us play a game tomorrow night with 6 players. But I think that I bet you there'll be at least 8, 9 guys available.
Yeah, and that's what Levi says. They apparently you need at least 8 players active.
Okay.
So they're at 6 right now. They need 2. They need 2 of the guys that are questionable to play.
He's questionable. Joe.
Let me see. Embiid, Danny, Tobias, Shake, Poirier, Paul Reed, Matisse Thybulle.
Okay.
That's not good.
See a little more Maxey. I'm fine with that. Like to have them all out there, but
well, Rome, he's averaged what, 17? So I'm talking about progressing. Like, we don't expect progression
from a number 1 overall pick and what people say is a generational talent.
I don't expect you to get better. I mean, come on. I mean, I know he's gotten better in some things, but I can't harp on things. I can't expect you to be at a number. The fuck's happening? I don't know what to say. You hammer Wentz, you love Foles, but then you just look at you. Then you don't expect guys to develop and get better.
Yeah, and Rome, he averaged 17 in 2018 in the second year. We can't ask him 2 years later to be a point better. We're asking him to be a point better. We're not. I mean, he wasn't averaging 11 last year. We want to be a point better. We're in a better system, better coach, better team, 1 year older, 1 point better. When I ask him for 30, 1 more point. If that's ridiculous, then this city's gotten way. I don't want to use the word soft, but I'm going to use it. The city's gotten a lot softer than I remember it.
Jason, he's out already, and he's out probably for 10 days at least.
Yeah,
so,
we won't see him for a while.
14.
14?
That's what I saw.
Okay. So every time you get a guy hit, it's 14.
It'll be a long season without that bubble.
And James says, what kind of lineup do we have if we get 8 players? What are the starting 5? Well, right now the starting 5 would be Simmons, Dwight, Maxey, guessing Dakota Mathias, and Isaiah Joe.
Go Isaiah Joe.
And then Tony Bradley is your 6th man.
Yeah.
That's a sexy lineup.
Then you got Ralph as your 7th.
Yeah.
And Lola Bunny as the 8th.
You.
So we're all good.
Right.
Tom, you suiting up?
I'll play. And we're getting their money. Getting their money for a game. Yeah, I mean, I don't think NBA players will go for a bubble again.
No, they're not doing that again.
No shot.
I
So-
can trip some guys and beat Grayson Allen.
Yeah. The effort. There's energy effort out there.
I can beat Duke. What is it? Duke JJ Redick for like a game or two, where I got the white boy cut and everyone hates me, and I shoot moderately okay from 3.
That's all. I think we can. I don't know if we let him go to another team, but I think that
I think he's playing overseas.
Yeah,
I think he just signed a contract with like China or some other overseas team.
they'll probably expand their roster if they make them play tomorrow night.
The problem is that we would have to use our both of our two-way guys, and that's Paul Reed, who's already here, and Dakota Mathias is already here. So I don't it goes into the gray area to where if you brought up some.
Yeah, they're the jackasses who, they already opened it up deeper than it was.
Yeah.
And they might have to go deeper than that. Like they might have to expand some of this stuff to make it work if they want them to play.
I hear what you're saying.
They're going to play tomorrow night. Like I don't buy into that. I think that's happening. The NFL fucking had a practice squad wide receiver play quarterback. So I just don't see, if they're going, they might force them to play with 7. I could see it.
Yeah.
See it saying you guys got to figure it out and play. If you got enough, you have enough guys, you got to go play. Well, maybe we'll let you call up a G Leaguer to make it 8. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Even though they don't have it, the league can make exceptions. It's their damn league. Okay.
I have an idea. Bring back Sixer legend Corey Brewer. How about that, huh? He gave us some fire against James Harden a couple years ago. And no Philly sports passion. I would, under no circumstance, bring back Al Horford for 2 hours. Let alone
I think it looks like AI.
Oh, I see. I got flashbacks to Al Horford.
The only problem with AI is if you have no idea if he's going to show up or not.
Yeah, no, he's not showing up.
Yeah, he's fine.
No, we'll sign him to a 10-day, and he'll show up on day 9 out of 10.
Anybody know what LiAngelo Ball's doing?
Oh God,
nothing. He's available.
No, he signed with a G League team.
Oh right, yep.
Good for him. The legend's back.
Father of the year.
I told you my sons would be in the league.
He didn't say what league.
Exactly.
Tom, you want to go to Phil's?
Yeah, I mean, he did have with two brothers to ever get drafted in the top 3 of an NBA draft. So
Don't those two play against each other? What was it, tonight?
They just played against each other.
Yeah.
Oh, last night. Damn it, I missed it.
No, it's tonight.
Oh, tonight. Okay, good.
Yeah,
No, it's already
it
over.
was
Oh,
Suns
jeez.
versus the Pistons.
Well, then I missed it.
Yeah, LaMelo scored a
Yeah.
what do you call it? He scored a nasty 3 against Lonzo to wrap it up.
Oh, I should have bet money on that.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Love to see it.
all right, this one should be fun. Phillies bold predictions.
God.
I'm gonna say that, and this is bold right now because of how it feels. I'm gonna say that they signed JT Realmuto. Feels bold right now,
Mm-hmm.
and
I hear you, Tom. I hear you.
Pulling for straws.
our bullpen has under a 4 earned run average next year.
Oof.
Wow. Are you?
Wow.
I might put that
That's
on the
big money,
refrigerator. I might put that on the damn refrigerator, Tom.
That's bold. Bold on its way down from 10.
Yep.
And then my third one would be they'll be a playoff team.
That was mine.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No, cool. I mean, if they sign Realmuto, you know what I mean.
Mhm.
But that's like such the boldest comment of all time because this division's so much. Everybody's better than them.
They're so good, this division. Like I'm not even mad anymore. I respect it. Like I
Even if
respect.
Harper's MVP. I mean, Harper's got to be an MVP.
Yeah.
For you to be a wild card team, etc. Now we don't have the details if Major League Baseball is going to keep their postseasons expanded. Have they figured that out for 2021 yet? I don't know.
I don't believe so.
So we don't even know how long the season's going to be. We don't have all these details yet. But that's the only way to get into the playoffs if Harper has like a monster year where he where it's just that carries him. But yeah, they're all hard ones to say. Christ.
I'll go real quick. I've got 3. My number 1 is that Rhys Hoskins will not be on the team by season's end.
Shit.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, I Tom, you and I talked about it like a month ago on one of the shows that we were on. Like, I think his destiny is to get traded for bullpen arms. To be honest, like I just think that's his destiny to go to an American League team because he's an American League player. He's not a National League player.
No,
he's a DH. So I'm sticking with that. My second one is that Alec Boehm will be voted onto the All-Star team this year.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like
I
that.
agree with that.
And my third, and this is on that same show where we were talking about Rhys Hoskins about a month ago, Tom. I brought this up, and I'm riding with it. This will be my bold signing prediction for the Phillies of the year. The center fielder of the Philadelphia Phillies this year will be Jackie Bradley Jr.
I was wondering when someone was going to bring him up.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, like Tom and I have talked about this a lot. I really like Hazley. I like him. I'm not a Roman Quinn guy, but something's very. Well, no, Joe Girardi's a big Roman Quinn guy because, like we've seen all last season, I know it was in small sample size, but he never seemed to be an Adam Hazley guy. It seemed like when those two were healthy and Roman Quinn was healthy for felt like 2 hours of the season, they would always go to Roman Quinn. He never really fully trusted Adam Hazley. I know there were some comments last year saying that, we don't believe he's that kind of player yet. And given Dombrowski's, history from Boston with Jackie Bradley, I could see them really trying to solidify that. And also I could see them being, using the move and the money that they don't use to bring back JT Realmuto. I could see them being like, oh, well, we didn't bring back Realmuto, but here's Jackie Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my 3.
I'll take Jackie Bradley. Right?
Yeah, I like Bradley.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, the Phillies is going to be a tough one.
Remember,
Yeah.
Cole could be fucking the Ben Franklin, falling into the Delaware. I mean, you can blow the whole thing up. I mean, you could have Middleton assassinated. I'm just kidding. But I mean, you can get it. I mean, you keep lying to the people. Shit happens.
All right. So with my bold prediction,
You sold the shirt. PhillyDrinkers.com.
with the bold prediction, among with the so many catchphrases, star hunting, new norm, stupid money. Stupid money is going to be immortalized as probably one of the biggest flubs in
Wonders.
recent memories. So
More than the
with
dream
that,
team.
they will fail to re-sign JT Realmuto.
Okay.
And I think the Phillies will finish last place in the NL East.
Frank, I mean, I love it. I don't love
Not
it
mad
because, my one thing that my response to you is that I don't even think that's bold. Like, I feel like you should make a bet on that right now. Like, I feel like if you made a bet, I feel like that's just a smart prediction, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I just think that's just a smart prediction.
I know it's like I do think it's a smart prediction, but at the same time, knowing what this team has, what we saw last year, we could have been a playoff team had Clintack made a move. Had we made a significant move? Yeah, exactly. Had we made a smart move during this season, we would have been a playoff team. But nothing happened.
But Frank,
Stop speaking facts.
But Frank,
Clintack's an idiot. He's an idiot.
No, and he's still there.
He's just so analytically intelligent.
And
He is still here too. He got like the Howie Roseman treatment. I mean, these organizations cannot listen. You know what happens in organizations? Let me tell you what happens in organizations.
Pucker up.
Let me tell you what these guys all do. I mean, that's what it seems like, I mean, maybe only in Philly, where guys just continuously lose jobs, but then fall on their feet with a lesser job by the organization that they lost the higher job. How the fuck does that work? Any walk of life, if you lose your job, you lose your job. You don't lose your job and they say, well, you know what though? Why we're firing you? I'm gonna give you a lesser role though, because we really care about you. Like,
Tom,
what the fuck?
You're spot on,
I
Tom.
have that?
Not only are they not really firing him and they're keeping me in the building and they're hiding him, he's still getting paid the same salary as he would if he was GM. So it's like, here, go into the shoe closet, act like you're not here, get no of the criticism, but still get paid as if you were the GM. Like, that's like I feel like that's a promotion. Like, where can I sign up for that? Do you have to
I'd do that job.
Yeah, like
Paul Holmgren again.
Yeah,
hey, Paul.
Thank you.
Paul.
Thank you. It's like, do half the work, don't get criticized for doing something bad, but get paid all the money. It's like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like a dream job.
Well, I'll tell you this. Even with Realmuto back, this is real quick about the Phillies. It's doom and gloom because of what is transpired with Realmuto and what's transpired with this bullpen. But it's not like, if you look at it, it's not like that bad. Like,
it's very fixable. It's fixable.
Like you have Nolan Wheeler, right? Like you have cornerstones at the top of your rotation, right? Yep. You have Harper, you have Bohm, you do have Hoskins, even though I'm not a big Hoskins guy. You do have Segura who can swing it, right? You do have McCutchen still. Like you're not in great shape, but you're also not like far away. And baseball's fickle. So, like, you make a couple good moves. They don't have to be the splash moves.
Right.
A couple good baseball moves in your bullpen. This thing could be
exactly
for a wild card.
And I hope Dombrowski and Fold hopefully get something together. Actually, both grow a pair and help out this bullpen. That's what I want. They made one move. It's a great start. Now, can we re-sign JT? Can we at least make this bullpen competitive?
I told you exactly.
That's all I want.
Segura goes to third. Didi comes back and plays. Or no, Segura. So if you really want to win, Segura plays second. Didi plays short. Bohm plays third, and you keep Hoskins at first base. Now he can't throw right now, but that's, you know what I mean. you can get there after the Tommy John. But that's if you want to win. Like, if you want to win, Scott Kingery's a utility guy for you. Scott Kingery plays 2 or 3 days a week for you. Scott Kingery doesn't play every day. That's if you want to win. He's got to prove that he's got to earn himself into an everyday starting position. He has not earned that. He got paid for nothing, okay? Got paid for nothing. So he needs to now earn that position. But you're right now, Frank, if they brought back Didi and Realmuto, we can say the same things that we said last year, that they're going to hit. They're going to hit. So if you just do that, you were literally 2 bullpen arms. You were just a few outs away. I mean, that's all this team was. As bad as their bullpen was, the worst of all time. Okay? They were a few outs away from at least getting themselves into a playoff postseason. Like,
Tom, the way you're spot on, they had to win one. They ended up only having to win 1 out of their last 8 games. They had to. If they would have won one of them, they're in.
Another collapse, though.
Yeah,
exactly.
Even though Joe's 100 times better than Gabe, it's another collapse. And I do want to because things that I was confident about last year, I want to stay confident about. I want to stay confident about Joe. I love Dombrowski coming in, right? I want to be clear on that. Like, I like Dombrowski coming in because it's a win now mode, right? But I do like certain things that we have, right? But I just feel like we're so close, but so far away. It's so weird. But like, we are literally Realmuto signing in an upgrade of a bullpen, which doesn't cost you that much money if you're good at your job. Like, if you're good at your job, you can get a middle-of-the-pack bullpen in here tomorrow if you're just good at your job. And you don't have to make splash moves to get better. So I'm really interested to see how this whole thing plays out. But as much as I'm down on the Phillies, like we talked about before, they're the organization that can turn it around the quickest. Like, they can go from not being a playoff team to a freaking an NLCS this year. Like, that's how quick it can happen in baseball when you have invested this much money into certain things on your roster already, right?
Yep.
I mean, they're there. I mean, you have your stud arms. You have your big bat, right? You have some of these things, but I don't know, until they fix their bullpen fully, and they haven't yet, right? I mean, all they brought in was Alvarez, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Fuck Christ. I'm gonna start getting. You start getting loosened up here. I mean, this is a joke.
Might need you, Tom. They might need you.
But I guess they're all trying to feel out how many games they're going to play. Is it a full 162? Are they going to spring training? I'm sure there's so many things that.
Well,
but like, is Dave here? Like, hold on. I think I got another one for Dave. Is Dave?
Hello, wake up.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Hello, do something.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Can we do something? I forgot about that one. I honestly forgot that we had that.
Jake has a point. He makes a good point.
Yeah, I forgot we had that.
Where?
No, Tom,
I don't know what we're waiting for. Like, the Mets with Cohen can come in and he can buy a fucking organization and then come in and make splash moves after splash moves. They were making splash moves before he even got there, right? They're always making splash moves. It hasn't worked out for him. But how is the second fiddle in fucking New York outspending us? Somebody tell me that, because I guarantee if I go look at the books, they're outspending us right now. They're completely outspending us, and it's a fucking joke.
They absolutely are. They're waiting for Realmuto. And that's the issue. They're waiting to figure out, because if they bring him,
I'm done. Like, not that I even love JT that much. Like, I love JT, but
no, I'm not like hellbent. I'm not one of these people that are like hellbent on bringing him back. I'm not, because I say that again, Tom.
Could you imagine if they double up and they say, "Oh, Lindor, hold my beer. We'll get JT too." Oh,
well, I'm telling you.
Then we'll be Wilson Contreras again. Well, Wilson.
I'd start digging my own grave.
Or who the fuck was the other catcher? Who was the catcher 2 years ago that we traded for from Tampa?
Jorge Alfaro.
No, that's my former son. The other guy, the Moose Knock. He was from Tampa. And Wilson Ramos. Well,
my God.
Wilson Ramos. Don't play lick a ding. Well, Wilson Ramos back. Oh, my God.
No, I'm telling you. And I can put this in bold prediction, but I don't think it's that bold. They're waiting for JT Realmuto situation. They're going to wait too long, not get him, and then they're going to miss out on all these. I'm telling you, they're going into spring training waiting for Realmuto. I'm just telling you, this is not going to end.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to go
signed though, right? Like, how many free agents have been signed so far this offseason?
Not many.
Why?
Well, it's because, to your point, they don't know what's going on with the schedule.
I think
have no idea.
Putting it up even longer now. That's not no fucking excuse. The deal should have been done the day you made the trade.
Especially, he's already in our building. That's the worst thing, Tom. He's here right now.
Remember we talked about when Machado when we was with the Dodgers, like trade for him, get him in your building. Maybe he'll like your culture, and then you can get him, easier signed. Well, boy, were we fucking wrong. They must hate the fucking cigars. The guy must come say, hey, try a Middleton.
Because I think get
this shit out of my face.
I think we both agree that it's harder to make trades in this day and age than it is to sign people because it takes two sides, two deals, two teams. The Padres haven't waited. You know what I'm saying? They haven't waited. The Dodgers haven't waited. You know, they're like, oh, okay, we're chilling. All right. Oh, okay. Blake Snell. All right, cool. You Darvish. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, he plays 3 tomorrow. They got Joel on the picture. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Of what?
We play on ESPN or ABC.
Oh, that's false advertising. You know Joel's not playing.
They got him on the thing. They got him on the picture. They're advertising him.
Don't you tease me. Don't tease me. What are you saying? They know something? They're not telling me something?
The league would have to pull. If the league didn't think that they were pulling this game off tomorrow, there's no way they're fucking advertising that game right now. Yeah. Somebody higher up saying, "Oh,
you watch." I'm telling you right now. If they play tomorrow, they're winning. Simmons is going to put up 30.
Oh yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? That's going to go back to Simmons and Joel can't play together.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Last night
He's gonna have that signature game that everyone's been like pounding the table for.
Mm-hmm.
What was that, Tom? Last night it didn't look like they could play together? Is that what you said?
Last night they did.
No, I'm not even there. It just doesn't look like any of them could play. Like, just not even together. Just look like, oh, these guys just can't play at all.
I'm dropping 20.
Yeah, which is...
By the way, the Nets lost to the Grizzlies
game.
So how did... Hold the
what? They lost to the Grizzlies without Ja?
Well, they didn't have nobody either unless Kyrie played. I don't think he did. No, he didn't. Wait, how did the Nets... Hold on.
They smoked us.
No. I don't even care they lost. It's back-to-back world. How did they play that game tonight?
Contact tracing. What the hell happened to the contract?
What's going on? These guys not just drip all over each other? What the fuck? I'm fucking telling you something. Some ain't adding up around here. I mean, something's not adding up. How do they play that game tonight? And now Memphis is now exposed. I know nobody cared about Memphis, but I mean, can we have a feel? I'm telling you, these leagues had so much time to figure this out for the second go around, and they're dropping the ball because it's just about this. And they're dropping the ball. So when the league shut down for 2.5 weeks, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it because this was another simple formula. And people don't want to tell me this. You could have bubbled again and let them bring their fucking families. Done and done. All right, you're getting paid fucking guys are getting paid like $20 million plus this year. Tons of dudes, right? Like guys are getting paid a lot of money in the NBA. All right, you had to go to some kind of bubble format of some sort. All right, and they didn't do it. And it's we're gonna say. I mean, it's just weird. Maybe none of this. Maybe they're all good. Like you know what I mean? Maybe maybe the Nets got out scot free. And
but how do they? Doesn't
make sense.
What happened to the 24-hour process they were talking about last night on ESPN? What happened to the 24-hour process?
My dad told me to say something, and I'm not going to say, but he didn't tell me to say something about ESPN. NBA on ESPN. I said, no, I'm not going to do that, Dad, because, I'm gonna let them shove other stuff in people's throats. We're not here to do that. We're here to talk sports. So, before NBA tonight, I'm like, am I watching an NBA pregame show, or am I watching am I watching am I watching like CNN, Fox, MS? Like, am I watching something else? Like, I'm watching you for basketball.
I checked.
This isn't shut up and dribble. Like, say whatever you want to say. I don't care what players tweet. Players can have their voices. Everybody has allowed to have their voices. It's a great thing about the country we live in. But I don't need pregame shows for the NBA talking about everything else. Like, yes, you should mention it. You have an obligation to mention it. I get it. But then can we talk about the games that are going on tonight? It's been like 5 minutes. They've been like 5 minutes in an hour show about the game.
Yeah, and also, where was Ernie? Like, as soon as I didn't hear Ernie's voice,
yeah.
Well, he tested negative for COVID, but he was going through he's always in quarantine, so that's like the reason why he wasn't there. But like, as soon as I didn't hear Ernie's voice, I knew something was wrong. I'm like, where the hell's Ernie? Where's Ernie?
There they go, Ryan. Here they go.
Hey, listen, he's healthy. Can we bring him in? Can we bring him in for tomorrow? We can see if him and Ben can play together, Tom.
He's 9 for 11. Good for him.
Better stat line than that.
Everybody do their bolts for the Phillies.
I didn't do mine yet, but mine will be quick. Phillies missed the playoffs, and that's not even really bold. And they don't re-sign JT.
Yeah, I just think that's a smart prediction.
Yeah.
That's just a solid prediction for 2021, Jake.
You guys go ahead with. You guys can go first on Flyers. Whoever wants to go first on Flyers. Bold predictions for 2021. Let us know.
I'll go real quick. I'll lead us off. I've got 2. The easy one, I guess. I'm sure this will be a popular one. The Flyers will reach the NBA Finals. That'd be really bold.
Whoa!
The Flyers will reach the NHL Stanley Cup Finals.
Ooh. Okay.
And my second one will be Carter Hart wins the Vezina.
Ooh. I thought about that one too. I like that one.
Well, I took it. Frank.
All right. So my bold prediction: I have the Flyers not win the Mass Mutual East Division.
Mm-hmm.
I also have the Flyers acquire one Mr.
Stop it.
Patrick Laine.
Ooh.
They're actually going to do it, Frank?
I think they pulled the trigger.
And
they pulled the trigger.
Fam at home, I mean, if anyone watched the Happy Hour, you know this already, but I mean, Laine's like the NHL version of Francisco Lindor for me. I mean, he's somebody I've been asking for years.
I was about to say, because I'm not a huge hockey guy, so I was like, is he a big name?
He's young, and he's awesome, and he's a goal scorer. He's exactly what we need.
Can you give me like an older hockey like comparison so I can like wrap my head around it?
Lee Harvey Oswald. He's a very good sniper.
What? Jesus Lord!
As a relative of JFK, that makes me laugh a little bit. He's like my great uncle or whatever the fuck he is.
What a very bizarre twist of events.
What a twist.
What a twist, as M. Night Shyamalan says.
The joke was meant to be. That's why I'm on the show.
It was meant to
so
be.
You can make a Lee Harvey Oswald joke.
Oh, Lord.
Well then.
That's what he was saying.
Patrick Laine, he is, I believe he is 27.
Yeah, he's young.
He's a young guy.
27.
Excuse me, 22. My bad. I don't know why I said 27. Somebody on that team's 27. Somebody on that team's 27. Oopsies.
Frank is reporting from 5 years into the future.
Yeah, right.
when he's 27, he'll be a Flyer. He'll be a Flyer in 20. When he's 27, he'll sign a mass deal. He'll be a Flyer for a few years, and when he'll reach his 27th year, he'll be good to go.
So would he be like an impact player, like a John LeClair or an Eric Lindros, or
absolutely,
Eric Lindros is like supposed to be like that type of guy?
Immediate impact, yeah.
He's one of the best goal scorers, flat out sharpshooters in the league, and he's not even reached his peak yet because he's only 22.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's already great, but he can be so much he's great,
exactly.
But just because of age. By the time he is 27, he would be friggin'
right.
He could be unbelievable. He honestly has the potential to be the best player in hockey.
Oh, absolutely.
Interesting.
Now, the current situation with him in Winnipeg, he's BFFs with Paul Stastny, which the Jets have acquired back after Stastny spent a little bit of time with the Vegas Golden Knights. So having Stastny back might keep Laine around for a while. But knowing where the Jets are at this moment, they're teetering as a possible playoff team, as a lottery team. I could see a move made depending on where the Jets are in the standings.
Mm-hmm.
Jake,
speaking of presidents, I'm gonna have the Flyers. I'm gonna have the Flyers end up winning the President's Trophy. Which for people at home who don't know,
no, oh God, no.
But I'll have them win the President's Trophy, and I'm gonna have them reach the conference final.
Why?
That's my too bold.
So we're getting cursed. So we're not winning anything. We're getting swept in the first round.
Ooh.
No, I'm not saying that far. I'm saying we go to the conference final. That's where I have us going.
No, but I'm saying that because of the President's Trophy curse.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Explain.
Any team in the it's the Washington Capitals curse. It's the Tampa Bay Lightning curse. Whoever wins the President's Trophy is awarded to the best team with the regular season record in hockey.
Yeah, the best
The
record.
last handful of years, the last few years, whoever's won that has been atrocious in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like they've collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? To where they end up being they go from being the best team in hockey to where they don't win a game. It's like a curse.
So
it's like the
Giannis Antetokounmpo award.
It's like the Madden curse for hockey. It's the Madden curse.
Or the MVP curse.
Yes, correct. Yeah. So let's go into national. All right. So this can be anywhere in sports, any league, any of the teams.
Okay.
You want me to start?
Go for it, man.
All right. So the first one, if anyone's been watching any of the shows we've been on, I've been saying this for a while. I'm sticking with it. It's my equivalent to Tom Brady will be a Buccaneer. It's that thing, but for the NBA. James Harden will be traded to the Denver Nuggets. That's my first one.
That's a good one. That's an interesting. What are they giving up? I'm curious what your compensation is.
Barton, Gary Harris, Michael Porter, and picks.
I like that.
Are they doing a like a Pelicans type of deal, or
Where what? It's like like a 7-for-1 type thing, like 4 picks and 3 players. You're saying?
Yeah. Basically, the Drew Holiday deal, the second Drew Holiday deal.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I mean, I could see them doing that instead of them giving up obviously Jamal Murray or Jokic. And I think
we want to give up either of them because you think that they want Harden over there their big 3.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I could see.
I don't think they trust Porter, honestly, in my opinion. I don't think they like him as much as other fans might.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then Porter also fits the role of what the Rockets have been wanting, at least reportedly, and that's a young kind of primed somebody that they could believe can end up being a superstar in Michael Porter. And I believe Denver would get rid of I don't want to say get rid of him because anytime you're trading away something for James Harden, it's you're bringing in a good player, a very good player that is. But there's a lot of risk with Porter. There's a lot of risk given the back.
I'd rather risk whatever is going to happen with James Harden than have to risk it with Michael Porter Jr. because he literally has like the back of a 45-year-old, and any slight movement or tear or crack or whatever, like he steps on the crack too hard, he's going to break his own back and his mama's. Like that's how bad this dude's back is.
No, so
it's not worth the risk, man.
And I think bringing in Harden, having kind of a big 3 of Jamal Murray, Harden, and Jokic in an extremely competitive Western Conference. And like I said, Denver's also kind of struggling. I could see them, taking a little bit of a step back that caused them to make this move. That's a move that they would then take, to put them over the edge. And also, it's not a rental type move because Harden has, 2, 3, 4, 3 years left on his contract. To where they say, okay,
say 3.
Yeah, I believe it's 3. They would say, hey, for the next 3 years, you've got Jokic, Jamal Murray, and James Harden at the top of your lineup.
That's a pretty great lineup.
Yeah, and go out and win it. My second one, I'll save the. All right, well, no, I'll go here. You could view this as my way too early World Series prediction. I have the San Diego Padres winning the World Series.
That's a good pick.
I liked them a lot last year. Before last year's season, I said them and the Angels were going to take big steps. They didn't really do anything, but I think obviously bringing in Hugh Darvish and Snell, that's huge. Already having Tatis and Machado and even Hosmer as your backbones of as far as your lineup. I think the manager's really good, and again, they're going all in for it. To where they could see them, at the middle of the season making another splash move if need be. I love what the Padres are doing. I've loved what they've been doing and building that, the last handful of years. It seems like they're really trying to compete with the Dodgers. Hasn't really worked, but I think going into this year, I think that they're going to be really good. I really like the White Sox also as another team to keep an eye on. But I'm going full. I'm buying into the Padres. I'm buying fully into what the Padres are doing. And my final one, and I almost went full fledged, but I'll save it for our big off-season show in a couple months, because we look at all the projected turnover with the quarterbacks, right? And like I said earlier, one of my bold predictions for the Eagles was that Carson Wentz will win the division in the AFC South with the Colts. I believe.
Don't let McAfee hear you say that.
I know he's upset for some reason.
I don't get why he just doesn't like it. It's so weird.
Yeah, well, he's gonna listen. When Wentz goes there and they win the division, I think he'll look back on it and he'll be like, I love Wentz. Everything's fine.
Bullet brand. Like, is he really getting all hot and bothered for fucking Phillip Rivers and Jacoby Brissett? Like, come on.
Well, I think his stance, and I understand it to a degree. He says, "Hey, well, there's better options out there," but then he goes on to name Matt. He names Matt Ryan, who is going to also have a huge cap hit, and I'm not saying he's, Wentz is way better than him, but Matt Ryan is the king of getting you close to winning games, but then screwing it up on the 5-yard line. Sam Darnold, I get it, but there's no guarantee he's leaving New York, and there's still a lot to. I mean, he's like Wentz 2.0, just
he's
the upside.
Shot in the head. Like, if we want to make jokes about Wentz being ghost shy, I'm sorry. I mean, whatever.
Sam Bradford.
No fucking difference.
Matt Stafford. We don't know if he's even going to be available.
I love Stafford. I don't care.
So
what
do I.
Says.
I hope he goes. I hope he goes to a team like the 49ers. Honestly, I would really like to see that.
Matt Stafford deserves to play for a winner. He deserves to get.
Oh, absolutely. He absolutely does. Yep.
I feel bad for him.
He's
He's a great guy. He's a great player. My favorite Stafford thing will always be like when he destroys his arm and they're like, "Oh, we got to take you out." And he's like, "Fuck you." Goes back in and he throws a touchdown.
But my final bold prediction is that the starting quarterback for your New England Patriots at the start of the year. Anyone want to guess?
Fuck you. Go fuck
Deshaun Watson.
No, I'm not. I'm not evil. I mean, I'm evil, but I'm not that evil.
Don't you dare.
What are you thinking, Pete? What do you think I'm going to say?
See, I've grown to see how your mind works these last few weeks, but I'm thinking you're going to be evil and you're going to say Carson Wentz.
Oh, Frank,
starting quarterback.
No, it's not going to be fucking Cam Newton.
God no.
Man.
Tom Brady.
No, Levi, it's not Deshaun. I'm not. It's not. No.
Yeah, I guess Deshaun.
He can't join the evil empire.
Zach Wilson.
Levi got it. Jimmy Garoppolo.
He comes back. He comes back home.
Would you be shocked?
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Really.
I really don't hate it.
God.
The 49ers are going to move on from him. And Bill Belichick, the guy who never wanted to get rid of him, brings in sustainability. And they draft a kid in the later parts of the draft. Maybe Mac Jones in the second. You never know.
Okay.
You never know.
All right, I got a fun one for you.
Okay.
All right, so we're playing QB carousel is what we're playing right now, right? All right.
Sir.
Yeah. So quarterback next season for the 49ers to win them a Super Bowl. Deshaun Watson.
Oh,
maybe.
Deshaun Watson and that high, beautiful, fast, creative, very quarterback friendly system that is Kyle Shanahan. Oof.
So I mean, I know that would be successful.
Yeah.
Philly Sports Passion says, I guess he's saying Matt Ryan on the Patriots. Wouldn't that be ironic?
That would be ironic.
Bill Belichick would go into the closet and shoot his fucking brains out.
No, somehow Bill would make it work. Somehow Bill would make it work.
I mean, but to be fair, everyone and their mother was basically trying to sell me on Camp Newton MVP, and I'm like, I don't know if he's gonna fit. And they're like, why do you say that? I'm like, because he hasn't done anything in like 3 years.
Right.
And prior to going into this year, his post Super Bowl record, he had less wins and less touchdowns than Tyrod Taylor.
That's crazy.
My favorite stat, by the way.
Tom, did you hear? Because I want to get your opinions on it real quick. Did you hear my 3 national bold predictions?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Okay. So my 3 are, the first one you've heard me say numerous times. Harden to the Nuggets. You know, I've been saying that one. My second one is the World Series winners of 2021 will be the San Diego Padres.
All right.
And my third is that the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots at the start of next season will be Jimmy Garoppolo.
Going back to New England, huh?
Back to Old Faithful. Bill never wanted to get rid of him. They go to Jimmy G, and they draft Mac Jones in the second.
Jimmy GQ.
Yeah, my bolds national 2 are going to be involved in this year's playoffs. Baltimore doesn't get out of round 1.
Sexy.
Love it. Love
it. Buffalo Bills win the Super Bowl.
Oof.
They finally get over that hump, right?
I hope so. Good for them.
I'd be so happy. I'd be so happy.
And it's tough. Oh, man. Trying to think if I want to go baseball. See, the Padres is a good one, but baseball's freaking weird. You know,
it's anyone's game in baseball.
Baseball's strange. I'm gonna stick with the. I don't think the Mets make the playoffs. That's gonna be my bold prediction.
Interesting. That's a good one. I like
I'm
that.
I'm a big fan of all 3 years, Tom. I'm a big fan. As far as the morale, you know what I'm saying? Bringing back some positivity. I love that. All 3 of them.
All right.
Hate. That's like the hate app.
Yeah, I gave one, so I'll get Tom. You weren't here for this. I said Deshaun Watson goes to the Niners. Let me see what else. Oh, Baker Mayfield next season brings Browns to the AFC Championship game. That's my bold one.
Okay.
And LeBron this is a little bolder. LeBron not only wins an NBA championship this year, he wins Finals MVP and regular season MVP. Because he's leading the MVP tally right now. So it would be totally the most random thing ever that they make him MVP the season after he should have won it, and the season where no one in their right mind would pick LeBron to be the MVP of the league.
Yep, and they'll keep giving it to him as many times as they can.
I mean, they should have there's a few times they should have given it to him. Derek Rozier, I'd argue, and last year probably the ones where I'm like head scratching.
Jake,
let me think. My one, I'm gonna have the Lakers miss the finals this year. That's my one. I'm gonna have the Lakers miss the finals.
I thought you were gonna say playoffs.
No,
I was gonna say
LeBron
somebody check Ralph. Somebody check Ralph for the love of God.
He's gonna show up out of nowhere and just beat us all.
If I said that, Ralph would show up. Ralph would absolutely show up.
You mean like this?
God damn it!
God damn it, Frank.
That was good, Frank.
That was really good.
That was good.
Wow, what great timing.
Jeez.
Yeah, so Lakers missed the finals. I'm going to have the Dodgers repeat. And then my last one, I'm going to have Deshaun Watson be traded to an AFC East team. Not the Patriots, though. I'm going to have him go to Miami. He's going right to Miami.
And they're giving him 2, aren't they?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, so all right. So what would that? I'm putting you on the spot here, Jake. What would the trade be? What would it be? Tua and then Tua in the third pick? Tua in the third pick?
See, I feel like the third pick would be too much, but it makes sense though, right? Because obviously Houston would be getting back what they gave away. But yeah, I'll do Tua in a third pick. Absolutely. I'll definitely do that. If you can get your franchise quarterback of the future, and Deshaun came off arguably his best year of his career, and he had career numbers in every single spot, with it being passing yards and touchdowns and the whole 9 yards. To me, if the Dolphins know for a fact, because obviously Tua hasn't impressed, and Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, played better than Tua, and Tua was a top 5 pick. So yeah, make that. I really think Miami does pull the trigger, and they did what the Cardinals did when they took Kyler Murray after drafting Josh Rosen.
I mean, I'll tell you what, Chrome and Sweeps will be partying. I mean, they're big fans of you right now.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I think all Dolphins fans will be fine giving the third back to him and do it.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. And I don't think that's too much either, Jake, because you're getting, Tua's a big time question mark right now. You're getting the third pick to help, and you're getting also 5 years of control with Deshaun Watson. So it helps both teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Deshaun's so young still, too, though.
I don't trust Tua as far as I can throw him.
25, I believe, Jake.
Is that what he is, 25? Wow.
I think so.
Wow.
So young. No brainer.
Yeah, absolutely no brainer.
No brainer. Everybody give their nationals.
I did not.
Shoot.
All right. Let's see. My first bold prediction. I'm going to go with a hockey one. I'm going to go with the Vegas Golden Knights finally lit the Stanley Cup.
Ugh.
I know. As much as I hate hockey in the desert, this team's too good. I mean, knowing where this team has been, I know everybody has ragged, hockey in Vegas doesn't work. I mean, success, it's working pretty well if you're a team in Las Vegas.
In the history of sports.
Exactly. I think they finally get it done. I think they lift Lord Stanley's Cup come the summer.
Okay.
Like, I'm not a big expansion team guy, but I have to give the Golden Knights as much credit as you can. Like, for them to achieve and do what they've done in such a limited time, with such limited picks and assets, it's phenomenal.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm not even like a big old hockey guy, but like watching what they got done, I root for them every time they're deep in the playoffs, because they're a fun team to watch, and it's just crazy to see what they can accomplish. Hey, Flyers, you should give it a shot. Deep playoff runs are fun. Fans like to watch.
Yeah. Good times. All right, everybody give their nationals.
And then my second national is that we will have a very bizarre NCAA tournament for basketball.
Ooh.
No surprise there.
No surprise there. I know everybody's. I know we're gonna love March Madness, but this is gonna be. It's gonna be hella weird.
Well, hopefully it's getting off. No,
I want it to go off, but we're gonna see a lot of knowing what I've seen in the college bowl season, where teams with losing records are going in. We're probably gonna see that with the tourney, where teams with losing records, mostly from Power 5 conferences, are going to slide into the tourney. And probably one of those teams might make a deep run. And I'm not going to like it one bit.
All right, boys. Fun little show with 2 hours. All right, cut a little down this week. Next week we'll
no 5?
Nah, no 5 this week. No 5. Next week we'll open it back up to the peeps and get back to Fan Friday.
Awesome.
Probably what we're gonna do is moving forward, we're gonna allow people to come on and they get 2 minutes to get whatever off their chest, and the next guy comes on, and that's how we're gonna roll with it.
Interesting.
So we're gonna let people they got 2 minutes. So it's almost like a call. I ain't nobody gonna interrupt you. You go, you get it out. Get it out. So next week,
Now, will people get to pull a number like they do at the deli?
sure, we can have a number. We can have a
All
number.
right.
All right, you want your tuna on wheat? You know what I mean? We'll get you all the number system.
Is Rome gonna get his 2 minutes of Nick Foles?
Yes, he can have his 2 minutes of Nick Foles like he does every single week here on Fan Friday. Boys, fun show. I'd like to thank our doc, make him yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. All campus, OC.com. Discount code A2D, 15% off all your team hats. All right, all campus, OC.com. Discount code A2D, 15% off all your team hats. PhillyDrinkers.com. Just search A2D Radio. You can get all your A2D merch right there. So fun show, boys. Hope everybody out there enjoyed it. We thank you guys all for chiming in, jumping in the conversation tonight. And next week we open it back up, baby. So you come in here, you better come in here hot, better come in here right. You get 2 minutes, and then you get the FU button after that. You know what I mean? You get the dump, even though we love you. All right, nobody gives you 2 minutes without an interruption. That's and nobody's wife is. I know that. So
2 minutes. That's being generous with most men.
Yeah, that's giving people a lot. But listen, thank you all for joining. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, follow, download. We're everywhere. Tom Arnone, Ryan Brotto, Frank Vespi, Peter, not Andy Young, Jake Friel, everybody out there joining us. Tomorrow shows freaking like wildfire. You got soccer in the morning. You got the weekly roundup in the afternoon. You have Kep's Corner. I'm not sure if we're going NBA. We might be going Sixers, but that roster could be interesting tomorrow night. That could be an interesting one. Mm-hmm. And then you got In This Very Ring. All right, nerd up late night tomorrow night. Nerd yourselves in. Everybody joining us. We love you. We out. Oh, fuck. Morning Pop Podcast tomorrow, 10 a.m. Another reason why this show's only going 2 hours. Me and Nate will do our little agree-disagree thing tomorrow. It'll be fun. I'll win again, like I have every week, even though he hasn't given me a win yet. But we'll agree-disagree on how many wins I got. So tune into that tomorrow, 10-2. So that, Docker, soak it in. We out. If it ends.